Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And we love to improve your home and improve your life. And, there's something about numbers. I got to tell you that, my dad was a civil engineer, a genius at numbers, and I've never really been a numbers. I'm not great at numbers.
Don't say it. Don't let them know.
And I have to, full confession. In fact, my husband, when he was courting me, my dad said, Bill, I tried my best. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
She's a winner in many areas, but with the numbers maybe not so much.
And I know that you
but
probably...
he still fell for you.
Yeah, it worked out, but I think, and that's why shopping is, is my thing. I am turning to you to help us with numbers that we need to know when it comes to our home. I mean, why? Why do we need to know these numbers?
I think it's not necessarily the number as much as it's the feeling of rooms, and particularly rooms like a bathroom, right, where space is at such a premium. It's almost like, consider it like a boat, right? How efficient all the cabinetry is inside a boat when you're sailing, right? Everything has to go in its exact place. There's a certain amount of size and room, even things like aircraft design. You ever go in the restrooms in airplanes where you have to do the limbo when you're going to the restroom?
I was wearing overalls on the flight, and so now, we're both tall people, and now you feel like you're in a cocoon.
You're sliding down the wall using it as a guide to get to the toilet, right?
Yeah. So
it's a lot of people talk to me about like, how do we use this space? And for example, in a bathroom, toilets are comfortable when they're 19 inches tall instead of 17.
Is this like a standard, like a thing, an industry thing?
These are called like high boy toilets. It used to be used only for the elderly back 20 years ago, and then they became in vogue because people were like, you know what, I don't want to squat down all the way to the ground using the restroom. It's too hard to get back up
on
again.
Your knees.
So the 19-inch toilet has become a standard. It's very, very comfortable. Things like towel bars, how high do you hang them? Sometimes you go into a home and it feels like, little people live here, and it's because the towel bars are not at 48 inches, right? And for example, pedestal sinks can go anywhere from 32 to 36. Because I'm a little bit taller, I love my countertops in the kitchen to be almost 42 inches.
Hip high. You don't want to be down.
I don't want to be at my sink in the kitchen crouching down like I'm at a little tiny thimble out in the backyard washing my dishes. It makes a huge difference in perception and the way that you feel in a space.
So that's the key. It's psychology.
It's the numbers only reflect what's comfortable. Even like things, stair risers, right? There's a very specific formula it's called rise and run. So how deep is the step and how high do you step up?
Because if it's too shallow, again, like, the 20s, they were smaller people then.
That's
and
right.
You feel like you're in your tippy toes.
And do you ever go to a facility where it's like you're walking upstairs and it feels wrong? Like, why is this so awkward? It's because the rise and run are not standardized, right? So you want to... the reason that things feel luxurious or spacious or big or amazing is because you're honoring the numbers that pertain to the height of things, the width of things, the swing of doors. When you're designing bathrooms or kitchens, when I'm standing at the kitchen sink, I need 30 inches at least behind me to do what I need to do. So think about that when you're doing a galley kitchen. If you don't have at least 60 inches between one cabinet and the other running down a run,
you're going to bump into things.
You're going to feel like you're in a crazy little chamber of horrors.
Well, the airplane bathroom again.
There you go.
You're just trapped and you can't move.
That's exactly right. Even things like, the depth of a shower seat, 15 inches deep gives you a feeling like I can actually sit here and shave my legs. Or
you aren't shaving your legs.
Well, it depends on the night. I have a part-time job. I look fantastic. I'm a great Liza Minnelli. But it's the depth of the shower seat. 15 inches gives you the ability to sit there, move your body around, whatever you're doing in that shower, right?
So this is truly, even though we have to think of the numbers and that's against my brain, but if you focus on the psychology of it, which I love, this is going to help us feel better in our spaces, is what you're saying.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's about spatial choreography.
Yeah, a great example, shower heads. Mm-hmm. The older shower heads, I don't know what they were doing. It's like,
it's tiny.
Let's make sure that we get water on the person's navel. That's all we care about. Why is it? It's like coming halfway up the wall.
Yeah.
Great comfortable shower heads are about 80, 81 inches. It gives you a fall. If you're 6 feet, you're going to get water on top of your head. If you're a little bit shorter, it's still going to feel like you're in a luxurious cascading flow of water coming down. It's not angling at some strange, awkward angle into your lower back, right? That kind of a feeling. You want to just really consider what works, what doesn't.
Well, so if you are stuck, in terms of that, let's say that you've moved into a house.
Yeah.
It's a tile shower or a stone shower, and they've already put this darn shower head at that lower height.
Yeah.
And you want it to be higher, and you don't want to be dealing with cutting into the stone.
No, there's a great thing called a shower up, and it's literally like an S-shaped pipe that is the color. You can buy them in chrome. You can buy them in whatever finish you have.
You shower up.
And you
man up.
You man up. You unscrew. You take a pair of channel locks and you unscrew the old shower arm coming out of the tile.
I didn't know about this.
You can turn it to the left counterclockwise. So remember this, in all plumbing, it's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Mm-hmm. So turning to the right, it tightens.
And by the way, I saw the
left.
movie Lucy. Is pretty good.
I don't blame you. I love that girl.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
Right? And you just take a pair of pliers or channel locks, and if you're not going to use that shower arm coming out of the tile, you can just go ahead and put the teeth of the channel locks right on it because it's going to scratch. If you are going to reuse it, just put a rag around it and then put the pliers over it. Turn it to the left, unscrew it. You can take everything off, even the shower head. The shower up screws in. It's an S-shaped curved device that makes the shower head come out of the wall and come up and then back around down.
Like a rainforest, like you need.
There you go.
Instead of, like you say, shooting at your navel.
That's like a $15 part.
Really?
And you don't have to get into cutting the tile and changing the height of the plumbing in the wall to get the higher shower.
And are these a little shower up S-curve dealios, are they always the same size?
Generally, yeah. And they have to sort of have a mild curve to them because you got to get them into the tile about 1.5 inches into the wall.
See,
so
that's
it's
a
not
sneaky.
Too extreme.
That's a great tip.
Great
because,
device.
I mean, a lot of us, whether you're in a home or you're renting, I mean, who wants to now cut into tile and change that? You don't want to do that.
Huge expense, and it's unnecessary, and especially if you've got beautiful old vintage tile, you don't want to start to interrupt it with saw cuts and stuff. So
and we can do that easily. We can do that inexpensively. Very good tip.
That's right. And then the other thing, too, is kitchens. Oftentimes people are asking me about bars in kitchens. Mm-hmm. What's comfortable seating? Again, for islands, because I'm taller, I'm 6'2", I like a 42-inch tall countertop, finished countertop. So when I'm standing there cooking, which I do every night, by the way, I bought the delicious steaks last night, and no one ate them because they were all full from In-N-Out Burger. I could kill myself. But anyway,
you cooked them.
Story. I made them. They're
now there's more for you.
Well, thank you.
You can have a steak Caesar salad.
Don't you hate that? Or they'll eat cereal right before dinner, and I'm like, oh, come on, I spent all this money. Anyway, that's enough
But
about
you made
that.
Great steak because you were at a nice height. You had the counter.
I cook every night at my house, right? I'm the cook in the home. So I need a tall 42-inch counter so I'm not bending over. My arms basically can hang down, and I can cut with just a slight elbow bend, and it feels very, very comfortable. So if you're in a position of redesigning a kitchen space, be very particular about the height of the cabinet. Go to the big box stores, stand around, measure the cabinet heights. Why does this feel better than this?
And go higher than
you think. It's going to make a huge, huge difference, right? Also,
go higher or go home.
There you go.
Our new slogan.
You want 10 inches between your bar stool and an overhang on an island.
Okay.
Because that's going to give you an ample clearance. It'll feel like desk height. It won't be like you're at the kids' table at Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It'll be like you're at a really comfortable purchase. So, again, there's all these standardized measurements.
What about pendant lights, speaking of islands? Because we love to have that look. I mean, there's so many kits you can get, like at the big box stores, changing your existing light into a nice little pendant thing that hangs down.
You want 30,
how low?
30 inches from the countertop.
Okay, so measure from the top of your counter
to where the light ends.
And we don't want to hit our head, but we want it to...
You want it low enough so it's giving you that light, that downward task lighting. Exactly.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Love that, yeah.
Yeah, and then cabinet depth. That's another thing people often talk about. If you're doing an upper cabinet, 12 inches is about as deep as you want to go. Otherwise, it gets so deep that it's like the long-lost oatmeal.
There's an echo chamber, basically.
It's so deep. You can't get to anything if it's high and too deep. So little bit shallower cabinets on the top, I often recommend as being much, much better.
What about the the distance between the vent hood and your cooktop?
Huge thing.
Because vent hoods are great to install.
Don't forget, they don't function if they go beyond 36 inches. So if it's too high off the cooktop, it's not doing anything.
It's not getting all the
So it usually between 24 and 36 inches from the cooktop is going to give you efficient smoke draw out of your house.
I've
seen people do way too many, way too high, and it's like it's not doing anything except making noise.
Well, I think that we'll have to put all these numbers on the website and kind of figure out your spacing of whether it's your bathroom or your kitchen, because like you say, it really is going to make you feel better.
Like you've done the remodel right.
Yeah, as opposed to
I did it wrong. The cabinet, I've got little person cabinets. Oh no.
Eric Stover, Cindy Dole, keep it here. You're listening to Home Wizards.